This happened back in 2017 during summer break. I was 15 at the time, living in a small town called Briarwood. My cousin Ellie had just moved in across the street for the summer, while her parents were away for work overseas. We weren't super close growing up, but we clicked fast that summer, hanging out almost every day, sharing dumb memes, watching horror movies, and posting nonstop on social media. One evening I was lying on my bed, half scrolling through Instagram like I always did when I saw a new photo Ellie had posted. It was her sitting at the edge of her backyard pool, legs in the water, the sky behind her glowing orange from the sunset. I liked it and was about to comment when I noticed something strange. There was a comment at the bottom that made my stomach twist. It said, "You look like such a sweet little doll. I'd love to meet you sometime." The username was weird, Mossy Snapshots, and I swear I'd never seen that account before. It had been posted just 2 minutes ago. Curious and a little creeped out, I tapped the profile. It was full of blurry random photos, old rusted fences, broken down barns, a doll's arm in the dirt, and one close-up of a raccoon's eye. No captions, no comments. Some pictures had a single like, maybe two. The profile picture was just a crooked shot of a dark forest. It gave off major horror movie vibes. The account only had 9 followers but followed over 200 people, including Ellie. I screen capped it and messaged her immediately. "Who is this Mossy guy? Did you see what he commented?" She responded fast, "Ugh, yeah, I just saw, so gross. Blocking him now." She blocked the account and I thought that was the end of it. I commented on the picture like I'd planned, something dumb like pool party queen, and went on with my night. The next afternoon, Ellie and I walked back from the gas station, Slurpees in hand. The sun was still high and hot, and the streets were almost empty like they usually were during the summer. As we got closer to our houses, Ellie suddenly stopped and elbowed me. "Don't look now," she muttered, "but that white van behind us. It's been trailing us since we left the station." I glanced over my shoulder pretending to look at a bird or something and, yeah, there it was. A dirty white van moving slowly down the road, almost matching our pace. We picked up speed, pretending everything was normal, and cut across her lawn instead of walking to the driveway. As soon as we opened the door and got inside, the van rolled past, then suddenly sped off down the road. We both stared out the window for a minute. "What the hell was that?" I asked. "I don't know," Ellie said, "but I don't like it." We tried to shake it off. Later, we ordered pizza and worked on a dumb TikTok dance in her room, blasting music, laughing, just being idiots. Her parents were still out of town, so it was just us. Then came the knock. It wasn't loud, more like a tap, tap, tap on the front door. We froze, music still playing softly from her phone. Ellie paused the song and crept to her window. She peeked through the curtain. "I don't see anyone," she whispered, "but I swear someone just knocked." I followed her downstairs. The porch light was on, but no one was there. No car in the driveway, just silence. Then, as we stood by the door, we heard the back gate creak open. Ellie grabbed my wrist. Her face went pale. "Stay here," she whispered, but I followed anyway. We tiptoed toward the kitchen, which had a small window that looked out over the backyard. It was too dark to see much, but we both heard it. Slow footsteps in the grass. Then the back doorknob turned. Someone was trying to come in. The door was locked, thank God, but we both panicked. We bolted back upstairs and shut the bedroom door behind us, locking it, pushing a chair under the handle just in case. We didn't know what to do. No landline, and both of our phones were downstairs charging. We didn't want to make noise. Didn't want to move. We just sat there, whispering to each other, trying to stay calm. Then Ellie's face dropped. She pointed toward the window behind me. I turned around, and my heart nearly stopped. There was a face in the window, a man, holding a camera. We were on the 2nd floor. He had climbed onto the patio roof to look inside. The flash from his camera went off. Click. Then again, click, we screamed. I think I knocked over the lamp. Ellie grabbed my hand and pulled me out of the room, and we ran to the basement, not even bothering to be quiet anymore. Down there, we hid behind boxes and an old couch, shaking, trying to stay as quiet as possible. We didn't hear anything else, but we didn't dare go back up. We stayed down there all night. Her parents came home early the next morning and found us in the basement. We told them everything, the knocking, the footsteps, the face in the window. Her mom called the police, but nothing really came of it. They checked the backyard and found footprints in the dirt near the patio. That was it. Later that day, when we finally went back to our phones, Ellie checked that creepy Instagram account, the one she'd blocked. It was gone, deleted, or renamed, just gone. We tried looking it up again and again, different spellings, but it had vanished completely. She never saw that man again. But from that night on, both of us kept our profiles locked tight. No more public posts, no more hashtags that could get picked up. We even stopped using our real names online for a while. Sometimes late at night I still think about that flash, that camera, what kind of pictures he took, where they might be now. We never figured out who he was, but I'll never forget that face in the window. Told by Tyler, 17, from Oakridge, Oregon, October 2023. Okay, so this happened last year and I swear every word is true. It still gives me chills when I think about it. Me and my 3 best friends, Eli, Mason, and Luca, have this Snapchat group we've had since middle school. We're all 17 now and still talk pretty much every day. It's just a place where we drop dumb pictures, videos, or inside jokes. You know? Stuff nobody else would get. Back in October, right around Halloween, something happened that messed us up for a while. So first off, we live in this small town in Oregon called Oakridge. It's mostly woods and mountains with not much else. Real quiet. Everyone kinda knows everyone. The kind of place where spooky stuff hits harder because it's not supposed to happen here. One Monday morning, we're at school and Luca tells us he lost his phone over the weekend. Like completely gone. He said he must have dropped it when he was biking home Friday night. No Find My iPhone, nothing. It was a newer model too, so he was pissed. But I mean, what can you really do? We figured it was probably dead or stolen. A few days later, on Thursday night, I was at this gas station just outside town, the old Sinclair station on Route 8, the one with the flickering light and broken coffee machine. I saw this guy there just standing near the pumps, looking off, like really off. He was wearing this oversized coat and had this weird, slow way of moving, like he didn't know how to work the pump or maybe wasn't even sure where he was. I thought it was funny at the time, so I secretly recorded a 10-second snap and sent it to our group. Nothing special, just one of those, look at this dude moments. I got home maybe 10 minutes later and checked. Snapchat. The snap had already been opened. That's when I saw it. Luca's name was on the opened list. I froze. He didn't have his phone. He literally told us 3 days ago it was lost and dead. So how the hell did he open the snap? I texted him right away. Did you find her phone? But the message didn't even say delivered. Now I was weirded out. I hit up Eli and Mason in our other chat asking if they'd talk to Luca. Eli called me and said he was actually at Luca's house. He put me on speaker and I asked Luca again if he found it. He was like, dude, no. I wish. That's when Eli got this idea to check SnapMap. Most people forget it's even on, but sometimes it still tracks you unless you turn it off. We opened it, and there it was. Luca's Bitmoji, still active, located at a place called Ridgeview Estates. Now, Ridgeview isn't really an estate. It's this half-built housing development they started like 6 years ago but never finished. Just a bunch of abandoned frames and concrete shells. No lights, no people. A total dead zone. And here's the creepy part. The phone had been active 4 minutes ago. We were all sitting in Eli's room. Luca didn't have the phone, so who did? We decided to drive out there. It was almost 9:30 p.m. by the time we piled into Eli's beat-up Jeep and made it to Ridgeview. The road there is narrow and pitch black at night, with trees pressing in on both sides. By the time we reached the fence surrounding the site, none of us were laughing anymore. We parked on the shoulder and hopped the fence. Immediately, we noticed how quiet it was. Like unnaturally quiet. No wind, no bugs. Just the crunch of gravel under our feet. SnapMap showed the phone was still inside the development. The location pin hovered over one of the larger buildings in the middle of the lot. A 2-story shell that was supposed to be a duplex. We crept toward it, our phone flashlights barely cutting through the dark. As we got closer, we saw that one of the boards on the side wall had been pried loose, just enough for someone to squeeze through. We did. Inside, it was worse. Cold, wet, smelled like mold and dirt. The walls were just plywood and spray paint. There were broken beer bottles and old fast food wrappers on the floor, like someone had been there, or still was. The snap map showed we were right on top of Luca's phone, but we didn't see anything. We explored the first floor. Empty. Then we started up the stairs, one creaky step at a time. At the top, there was a long hallway leading to a room at the end. That's when it happened. Click, a sound like a camera shutter. Flash. A blinding burst of white light lit up the hallway for half a second. We all stopped dead. My heart was slamming in my chest. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. Then Luca whispered, "What the hell was that?" Before anyone could answer, we heard footsteps, not ours. Slow, dragging ones coming from the room at the end of the hall. We bolted, ran full speed down the stairs, through the gap in the wall, and didn't stop until we were back in the car. Eli peeled out of there so fast he nearly took down a road sign. On the way back, we were all shaking, trying to figure out what we just saw. Then my phone buzzed. Snapchat notification from Luca's account. I opened it. It was a photo of us. The three of us, standing in that hallway just seconds before we ran. The picture was slightly tilted, like whoever took it was crouched down or holding the phone low, and the caption was just one word: run. We didn't say a word the rest of the drive. Luca deactivated his Snapchat account that night. He said he didn't want to be part of it anymore. A week later, he got a new phone and number, but here's the part that still haunts me. 2 weeks later, Eli got a friend request from a Snapchat user with no name, just the ghost icon. No bitmoy. No friends in common, he didn't open it. Mason said he started having weird dreams. Dreams of that hallway, that flash, someone standing just out of sight. I had them too. We didn't talk about it much after that. We tried to forget. Mostly we did. But last month, almost a year later, I got another notification from Snapchat. It was a snap from Luca's old account. No caption, just a blurry, dark photo. I couldn't make out much, except what looked like a figure in the background in that same hallway holding a phone. We never opened Snap Map again. You ever get that gut feeling something's just not right, but you ignore it anyway? Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me last fall. My name's Jordan, and at the time I was a 20-year-old college sophomore living in a small, pretty boring town called Fairview, Indiana. Nothing exciting ever really happened around here. It's the kind of place where you know your neighbors a little too well and the movie theater still only has one screen. Anyway, around October, everyone I knew was on this dating app called LunaDate, kind of like Tinder, just a little sketchier. My friends kept pushing me to make a profile, especially my roommate Devin. He swore it was way better than real-life dating. Honestly, I wasn't super into the idea. I'm kind of awkward, not great with small talk, and I had just gotten out of a weird situationship. But one boring Saturday night, I caved. I was laying on the couch halfway through a horror movie marathon and figured, why not? I downloaded the app and picked a few decent photos of myself. You know the drill, one at a party, one where I looked like I had my life together, one with my dog, and one that somehow made me look taller. Within a few hours, I had a handful of matches. Most were whatever, nothing too exciting, but one caught my eye right away. Her name was Alyssa. She had long black hair, pale skin, kind of this moody, artsy vibe, like the kind of girl who reads horror novels for fun and listens to sad music in the rain. Oh, her pictures were different, grainy, kind of old-looking. A few were in black and white, and one looked like it was taken with an old film camera in a mirror. Still, she was beautiful, and there was something about her eyes. I know it sounds cheesy, but I couldn't stop looking at them. I messaged her first. "Hey, cool vibe in your pics. Are you into photography or something?" She replied in less than a minute. "I like capturing the real you. The stuff people try to hide." Okay. Weird, but also kind of deep. We kept talking, and the more we chatted, the more I found myself liking her. She was easy to talk to, not flirty in a fake way, not cringy. Just chill. Funny, too. Her replies always felt like she knew what I was going to say before I even said it. Later that night, she asked if I wanted to hang out. I figured she meant like, later in the week, right? Nope. She said, "You should come over. Tonight. I want to meet you while you're still curious." Something about that message gave me goosebumps. Still, I told myself it was probably just her quirky way of talking. I asked for the address and she sent it right away. 12 Riverbend Court. Now, if you're not from Fairview, let me paint a picture. Riverbend is one of those dead-end streets that curves behind the train station. There are maybe a dozen old buildings. There, most are two-story apartments that haven't been updated since the 80s. The kind of place where the curtains are always drawn and the lights flicker even when no one's home. I hesitated, told her it was kinda late. She replied, "Don't worry, I've been waiting." Waiting? I wish I'd just blocked her right then. But I didn't. Around 10:15 p.m. I grabbed my hoodie, told Devin I was going out, and drove off. It took about 15 minutes to get there. My GPS lagged a bit once I got close, like it didn't really want to take me there. The road was weirdly empty, even for a Saturday night. When I pulled up, the building looked off. It was smaller than I expected, maybe 8 units total. Half the windows were dark, the other half flickered with weak bluish light like a dying TV signal. There was no porch light, just a single, broken bulb above the main door that buzzed and popped like it was trying to die but couldn't quite finish the job. I texted her, "Here." Her response came immediately. "The front door's broken. Come in through the hallway. I'm in 3B. The front door creaked open with a push. Inside, the hallway smelled like wet carpet and burnt coffee. The lights were dim, flickering in a slow, uneven rhythm that messed with my eyes. Every few feet, I'd hear this faint ticking sound, like something tapping metal, but I couldn't tell where it was coming from. The stairwell was narrow and the walls had these old peeling floral patterns. You know that wallpaper, people? Used in the 70s? Like someone's dead grandma decorated the place and nobody ever changed it. As I climbed the stairs, the air got colder. Not like AC cold, like standing in a basement during a blizzard cold. I shivered and shoved my hands into my hoodie pocket. When I reached 3B, the door was already cracked open. Inside, the only light came from an old box TV playing static. No sound. Just that pale blue glow lighting up a messy, empty living room. The furniture was covered in sheets like no one had lived there for a long time. I stepped forward and knocked softly. The door creaked open just a little more. That's when I saw it. Someone was standing behind the door, not in the room, behind the door, pressed against the wall. I could barely see their face, just one eye peeking through the crack, staring right at me, not blinking, just watching. I froze. For a second, I thought maybe it was Alyssa playing some weird joke, but the eye I saw, it wasn't right. The skin around it was too pale, almost grayish. The pupil was huge, like it had taken over the whole eye. And the way it stared at me, it wasn't curious. It wasn't nervous. It was hungry. Something in my brain screamed, "Run." I didn't say a word. I grabbed the door and slammed it shut as hard as I could. I heard movement on the other side. A dragging sound, like someone pulling something heavy across the carpet. I bolted, down the stairs, through the hall, past the ticking noises that now sounded louder, almost like whispers right behind my ears. When I hit the front door, I swear I heard footsteps right behind me. Slow, deliberate ones. I didn't look back. I made it to my car, locked the doors, and peeled out of there like my life depended on it. And honestly, it might have. I didn't go home right away. I parked in the lot of a 24-hour diner and just sat there for a while, heart racing. I finally opened LunaDate and blocked Alyssa. Then I deleted the app completely. Later, I tried to look up 12 Riverbend Court. I found old news articles saying the building had been empty since 2013. A fire, an electrical problem. 2 tenants died, and no one had lived there since. But the weirdest part? In one of the old photos from the article, there was a girl standing in a window. Black hair, pale skin, same eyes. And that, my friend, is why I don't do dating apps anymore. Some matches just aren't meant to be.